Hey guys, Bill Gray, Outdoor Dog Supply, bringing you today the differences between the 300 and the 200. The new Alpha 300 is, at a glance, it looks no different. Something that we weren't that happy with from the get-go. I'm hoping something might be addressed in the future. But there are really big differences in the two products. So they've had some major upgrades in the 300, and really it should have been listed as its own product versus something that looked like the other. To start with, the charger, which I know has been a huge issue with everybody, they now have a C charger versus a micro USB. It's just a much more durable charger. Everybody that's used both of them knows the C charger snaps in. It's in your Samsung phones. It's pretty much everywhere, and that's what we have now. Second big change, the screen is much brighter than it used to be. The 200, one of the big complaints with it was a very, very dull screen when you were out of the sunlight. It had a much more black and white appearance. They definitely have gotten a much brighter screen, much more colorful in the when you're out of the daylight now, but it's still like the 200 in the daylight. It's very bright and colorful. All your roads and everything definitely is more highlighted. Your colors of your dog tracks, all of that. So that is a great improvement between that and the 200. Next big improvement they did with the 300, this was something that drove me crazy. I love the battery mode in the one. Battery life is now 3 times what it was in the 200. So I could never get through a day not having to charge my 200 at some time during the day when you used it really hard. With the 300, I literally was getting 2 days of use out of it. And that was right heavy, running a lot of dogs at a time, constantly on the unit. So I think just about anybody, you now can be more than know you can leave out in the morning time and not have to worry about carrying a spare battery or having to recharge it sometime during the day. That is a huge. They also have battery saver mode, which I use, I love. I set it on a 2-minute screen so that it doesn't keep cutting off on me when I'm looking at it. But if I haven't used it, it cuts the screen off completely, which is another big saver. Now with just a double tap, it'll bring that back on so you can actually see your screen. Where with the 200, that was something I hated, was you actually had to hit the power button in order to cut your screen back on each time. So now it's nothing but a double tap again, screen's back up. So it's another huge saver when you're not using the unit. Huge battery saver when you're not using it, but it's a very simple to get your screen back up and looking at it. So the 300 in the past, the 200, what display you had is what display you got. With the 300 now, what they have done is you can go in and set up 2 different things. You can set up how your screen is itself, and you can also have a favorites bar down at the bottom. So where in the past you only had the map and the compass, this is something I absolutely love. I really only use 3 things in that 90% of the time, and that is the map. I'll switch to the compass to make sure my dogs are connected, and then of course my dog list, and that's where you go back, you can turn other dogs on, you can switch your groups. And so what I have done is I've actually clicked into my favorites, and you can see now you can go into your menu, and at any time you can drag whatever your favorite is, which dog list is mine, and actually go down and put it in your favorites bar at the bottom. And you can hold up to 4. So, that's so everybody uses it a little bit different. A lot of guys use New Hunt. If you wanted to have that, you could do that in your favorites as well. But that way you always have those on the bottom of your screen no matter which screen you're on. And I really, really, really like that. And that's how I keep mine, is the map, dog list, and then the compass. And those are the 3 that, like I said, I use in the system predominantly the entire time. Not unless I really have to get in and do something different with it. Another really nice, again, is what you can also do with this is you can change. So if you go down and you go to your main menu, which is on your screen there, click on your main menu and you're going to see menu style. And this also gives you the ability to do a small grid for you guys that still can see. As you can see, what that does is that makes your menu so you have all your menus pretty much on one screen. So it makes it very easy. You're not trying to scroll in or out and find something. That one I like a lot. Or go back to your main menu, and then we're going to go to the menu style. They also have a list. And so if you go to your list, it's also very nice. It just puts them in a nice simple list and says what they are. And it's also very organized. I've used both of those. Actually, I've used all 3 of them out there. I actually really like the list the most. It's just very simple for me. I can find what I'm looking for very fast. And, you know, and so that puts both the home and the other in whichever one you would like. Next really big thing that's also a new feature in the 300. This is something they were not able to combine with the 200. So unfortunately, I would love for this to be able to work with the other products, because this is something that's been asked for a long time, especially from a lot of my customers who run lots of dogs. They hunt in clubs where there might be 5 or 6 other people that have handhelds in the morning time. They want to help out. They want to help catch. They want to help chase. With the new 300, you now can share groups. So I literally can go into my dog list. I can go over to my group, like here, Billy, and then all I hit is that share, and it's going to prepare to share the group wirelessly. So once it finds the other handheld, or you have another 300, you literally will be able to send over that whole group of dogs instead of sitting there in the morning trying to add each individual dog, just so you can help somebody out. It really is a game changer. It's a huge saver in time, and I think you're going to find it's going to be a whole lot easier to share with those that you want to. And last but not least, this is something that Garmin worked really hard on. I really see this benefiting a lot of people that go to hunts where there's new dogs each time, and, you know, say y'all have a dozen dogs, or from that, they actually have now added a channel view. This is a new feature that has come out. So you'll go down and you're going to see it in your menu. Click on channel view. What this is this is now a new feature that Garmin has added. It's going to give you your devices, what you're using, and what frequencies they're using. And then you can actually scan, and it will scan any existing collars in the area. So if you go to a hunt in the morning, you're having problems with interference at your hunt club, this is a great way to go in and see what channels are being used, and being able to switch your collars to channels that aren't being used. You know, in very large hunts or things, I think it might be to where it's a little too much for that. I'd be afraid to change collars if you have hundreds of collars. But in these applications where there's, you know, 30, 40 dogs even, I think this is going to be a great way to help control interference in these hunts. Again, that's another great feature that's in the new Alpha 300. I think we've covered most of the great features between the 300 and the 200 day. As y'all can see, there's been some incredible upgrades. Remember, we do trade-ins here at Outdoor Dog Supply. You can trade in for the new 300s, the new 25 collars. Again, which if you look at the video, the new 25 collars are really incredible. The 25 and 20s, a lot of new features in those also. So again, thank you for watching the video. Thank you for seeing us at Outdoor Dog Supply, and look forward to talking to you soon.